What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another high-quality foodie feature for you here on the channel. With this time I'm over at Dickey's Barbecue Pit for a little Texas brisket chili eating action that just happens to be portable. That's right, you already know, it's the brisket chili walking taco, so stay tuned because it's up next. Welcome to Peep This Out Reviews with Ian K.
Stay frosty.
So here we go with the brisket chili walking taco here at Dickey's Barbecue Pit, and I'm definitely getting DIY vibes with this one, guys. I wasn't expecting to have to put this together myself, but considering there are only 3 main components here, this is not too bad. Alright, so what I've got here appears to be a fairly large bag of Fritos scoops, and to go along with it, the main stars of the show. Guys, feast your eyes on that Texas-style brisket chili action, mixed in with a little bit of beans it looks like there. It's looking pretty tasty. On the side of that, we've got that poblano queso with a little bit of shredded cheddar cheese, and although I'm not seeing green onions just yet, I'm hoping that it's mixed into the cheese together. But as you guys can see, 3 main components, and this should be fairly easy to put together, so let's get to it. Well, as soon as I ripped this bag open, of course, that Fritos aroma lit up my car pretty nicely, guys. Those scoops are pretty decently sized. Let's top it off with the Texas-style brisket chili, and as you can see, it's not too bad in terms of the portion size, although I do wish it was just a little bit more, but considering what we've got here, so far it seems to be filling it out nicely. And naturally, we need a little bit of queso love, so let's dump this poblano queso along with that shredded cheddar cheese in there as well. And I gotta say, guys, again, so far the aromas are really mixing pretty nicely. You can really kind of smell the spices of the brisket, and combining that with the Fritos scoops along with the cheese that I'm getting here right now, so far this is looking and smelling pretty decent. Alright, so let me shake this up as best as I can with one hand, and honestly, guys, the weight of this one is really beginning to be pretty apparent here. Along with the meat, along with the cheese, and of course the Fritos in the bag, this is definitely feeling pretty substantial. And voila, we've got it all together, and as you guys can see, a lot of it is kind of sunk to the very bottom here, but I'm going to kind of mix it around once we get going. But so far, guys, I'm kind of digging with what I've got here right now. I just wasn't expecting to put it together myself, but at the same time, we have a nice combination of Frito scoops, Texas-style brisket, we have that poblano queso, the shredded cheddar cheese, although I'm not seeing any green onions just yet. But hey, it is what it is. So let's get into this one finally. Guys, this is the brisket chili walking taco here at Dickey's Barbecue Pit. Let's peep out this flavor. Well, it's definitely licensed goodness for sure, guys. Obviously, Fritos is the brand name, and I've never seen a bag of them done this way. Obviously, this is made just for Dickey's. As you can see, the walking taco there on the go. And on the inside, a lot of that cheesy goodness is kind of sunk to the very bottom. I tried to mix it around as good as I can here for you, but, you know, it is what it is. The weight is pretty nice on this, and overall, I am really digging the aroma. It actually smells really good. A combination of Fritos, the brisket action, and the cheese as well. And again, everything is really pretty much on the bottom of this one. It's actually feeling a little soggy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this fork just in case with this one, and we're gonna pull up a little of everything. And actually, I think all in one shot, I got that one right there. Feast your eyes on that action right now, guys. The walking taco, Texas brisket style. Let's give this a shot. We've got the cheese, the brisket, some beans. No green onions though. Let's keep going in. Okay. Right off the break, the queso is very thick, guys, and the spicing that I'm getting from the Texas brisket, it's kind of coming up in the background. Just a little bit of a sizzle, nothing to kind of warrant a special effect for, but it is pretty nice. But as you guys can see, Texas brisket action along with the queso on some Fritos scoops. Let's keep going in. The brisket is bomb, it really is. Aside from the overall combination, this is obviously the star of the show right here, guys. Very tender. You can tell this has been cooking and marinating for a long time. It's very juicy, very soft, and I really dig the overall quality so far. It's going pretty nicely with the saltiness of those Fritos, and of course the cheese that I'm getting along with the slight sizzle from the spicing that it's got. Pretty nice. But I can't take it solo dolo without getting a couple more Fritos in here because that just would not be cool. So let me try and lift another one up here. We'll give this a go one of these days as one finally begins to come up here along with some cheese and a little bit of it being covered right there. Check it out. It's got a Fritos hat. Let's give this a shot. It's a nice combination. It really is. But I gotta say, I kind of wish I had those green onions that's supposed to be in here right now because everything else seems to be swinging in terms of flavor. The queso is nice. The poblano has a little bit of heat on its own. I think that's where some of it's coming from, as well as the Texas itself, the brisket action. But guys, the queso action is pretty nice on this. I have to admit, it's a decent amount, and as long as it's mixed up with the cheddar cheese and all that good stuff on the bottom, it's a little gluttonous in terms of what it is, a little expensive at the same time, $9 for this, but at the same time, again, on top of it, the flavor is keeping that at bay, at least in terms of the financial part of it. Let's keep going in. I do love me some queso and chips, so regardless, Fritos are definitely banging with this. Let me pick up this little dish of deliciousness right over here, guys. Take a look at this one. Try and focus that for you just a bit. Lots of queso, lots of brisket. And as you guys can see, a little bit of the strangling of that shredded cheddar cheese right over there just hanging out. Let's keep doing it. Scoops are a good choice for this, they really are. But you do need a fork, I gotta be honest. You can probably pull some up on your own, but it's very messy in here, very messy. Let me give you a shot as I'm getting further into this one. And as you guys can see, it's very gluttonous in terms of the amount of cheese all over those Fritos, guys. I have to admit, I'm really digging that overall flavor in general. And then you've got the meatiness coming up with that Texas brisket. Just a lovely combination in general. And again, with the slight sizzle that I'm getting in the background. So the saltiness, the slight sizzle, the cheese flavor, the Texas brisket flavor, definitely a nice combo. And just in case you need some assistance on exactly how to put this together, this is kind of funny, guys. They have the instructions on the very back right over here. Uno tear, dos top, tres shake, taco. Very cool in terms of how this works. And this really rips apart pretty nicely, so you have enough clearance to put all your toppings in. I think it needs just a little bit extra though. I think that would have been just kind of nice considering the price point. But overall, you've got the directions to go with, and overall, a very nice package that this comes in here. Again, this is pretty much made for Dickies. I don't think this is something that I would see in the store with the walking taco on the outside of the label, but I'm digging it. All right, so let's go for one more bite on this one because I think I pretty much have exactly what I need to get from this right now. The flavor is pretty good. And let me bring this on up just to show you one more time here. Here we go. I don't want that to drip. Plenty of the queso, of course, the Fritos action, and that Texas brisket. One last bite and we'll finish this up with the rating coming up next. Hang on. All right, so what this clearly lacks in the presentation department compared to the picture naturally for advertising, this definitely makes up in terms of flavor, guys. I'm really digging the overall quality of everything on this. You can really taste the quality of the brisket. It's definitely something that's been marinated for a while. And obviously the combination with that poblano cheese is a lovely situation in general. The light spicing and of course the Fritos that go with, a nice combination. But again, $9 for this. It needs just a little bit more to really kind of round out that price point. But the flavor is pretty solid. So with that said, I'm going to have to give this all-new brisket chili walking taco here at Dickies Barbecue Pit a pretty decent 7.5 out of 10. And I'm not going to go much higher than that because like I said earlier, guys, that needs just a little bit extra to warrant that price point. And overall, the quality is good, but as you're getting further into it, you kind of want just a little bit extra considering what you paid for it. And naturally, the flavors of that brisket is pretty awesome. Along with the queso, it goes pretty nicely. I only wish I had the green onion to go with for a little color variation and maybe a little extra flavor or crunch. But at the same time, the crunchiness that I'm getting from the Fritos is pretty decent, even though they do get kind of soggy as you go, as you'd expect it to because of the queso. Still, the flavor delivers on that one, and it is worth checking out at least once. Okay, so now the obvious question, because you know it's coming. Are you going to be giving this one a shot? Drop some comments down below. If you've got Dickies in the area, how excited are you to give this one a go? And how do you think this would compare to, say, like the Fritos Pie, which is basically chili cheese and Fritos? Do you think that actually look better to you? Drop those comments down below, and definitely let me know. And with that, this is Ian K closing out another high-quality foodie feature for you here on Peep This Out Reviews, bringing you brand new content every single week here on my channel. So why stay tuned for the next review coming real soon. In the meantime, stay frosty. Yes, sir, I'm definitely digging the name brand Frito scoops that go with these guys. It's a very nice combination. And again, something very unexpected to have to put together myself, which I don't mind too much at all because I gotta say the process was kind of fun to do. I just wish there was just a little bit extra in here ingredients-wise to justify the cost. But like I said, still pretty tasty. All right, everyone, until next time, I'll talk to you soon. Hey, thanks for checking out another one of my reviews. But just in case you didn't see the one before this one, you can find it right up over here, along with what I think YouTube's gonna recommend for you to check out as well. As always, I think you'll find something to like in both of them, and I'll definitely catch you in the next one. See ya.